channel. My name is Delia. Thank you for tuning in. As most of you know, I have been living here for 12 years as here in Germany, and there are some things that I have not been able to just get used to, although I've stayed here for a very long time. And this is about the culture. There's really some culture shocks here in Germany, and one of it is that if you come to Germany, be prepared to hear this proverb, Wasser ist teuer. Wasser ist teuer means water is expensive. Most Germans mean that water is very expensive. That's why, there are very many people who do not take a regular bath in the week. Most of the people just shower once a week, and even some only wash their hair. Maybe this week they wash their hair, and then next week they'll wash their legs. Another week they'll wash their whole body. And that's something I just find okay for us. Like for me, I come from Kenya. We wash ourselves almost every day. We wash ourselves regularly, and there's nothing like water is expensive. Of course, water can be very expensive. I don't know how expensive it is. I have been living here, but according to my own opinion, I don't think that water is so expensive that I should not shower as regularly as possible. And something else is that there are CCTV cameras made of blood. What I mean is that there are just many people, most of them who are in pension, who just don't have anything else to do apart from hiding behind the curtains and looking through the windows, seeing what is going on. And if you do something wrong, let us say you park at a place where you are not supposed to park, even for 1 second, they'll be ready to take some photos and send them to the authority so that you get your punishment. I, of course, love the fact that most Germans just mind their own business, but in this case, they don't. Another thing is that man shall live on bread alone. Most Germans love bread. As I was an au pair, in my first host family, they would eat bread from morning to morning, and I swear I could not come into terms with this. I remember within the first month, I lost 10 kilos, and I was so sad when I told my host mother that I had lost 10 kilos, and she did not show some empathy for me. I had expected her to ask me if I need more food, or if I am very worried I have a lot of problems that have led to my weight loss. Because for us in Kenya, my parents or my family or even the whole village would be really worried if I lost a lot of weight, or if I just lost weight. So when I think about this issue today, I just think even my host mother would ask me that time what I did to lose weight. Maybe she thought I was doing some diet. And by the way, at that time, I was not even body conscious. I was just someone who would eat anything and everything. I still do eat anything and everything, but I am body conscious today compared to 12 years ago. And another thing that really shocked me here in Germany is that you cannot just get crushed. I am not someone who get crushes, but if you want to come to Germany, just know you cannot visit your friend, you cannot visit your family or your siblings just without any prior notice. You have to call them and ask if they'll be having time on a specific day so that you can make an appointment to visit them. Even at funerals, you cannot just go to a funeral, even if it's your neighbor or someone you knew well, without being invited. You have to be invited in order to go to a funeral or to a certain party. Even if it's your, let us say, a parent-in-law. Like for some people who are in a relationship with Germans, even it can be that the parents-in-law will be celebrating their birthdays, or just the other in-laws will be celebrating their birthdays, but it doesn't mean that when they do and they talk about it, oh, I'll be celebrating my birthday on Saturday, that it means you'll be going there. You have to wait for them to tell you concretely, I have invited you to a birthday. I remember the first time I was very shocked when the grandparents to my child, the grandmother to my child came and told me, I am inviting you for my birthday on a certain date. And I just thought, isn't it, what do we say? I thought it, yes, I thought I'd be coming in my heart. But then I just learned later there were also some kids, some of her children who were not invited. So that's something that I really have to get used to. And there's something else that I also wanted to talk about. I don't know why I'm really forgetting this. I don't know why, because it was very important. Hmm. Yes, I've just remembered what I wanted to talk about, and it's like this. If you get sick, you cannot just go to the doctor. You cannot go and visit the doctor without appointment. When you get sick, you have to call the doctor and, yeah, explain what you have, and they'll give you an appointment when you can go and visit. And it doesn't mean that you will go and visit the doctor the same day. If you may be really suffering and maybe almost dying, but they can give you an appointment in 3 days. There are also appointments that you are given 1 year, in 1 year. Oh God, I remember there's a time in 2017, I really got sick. My whole body was aching, my bones everywhere, my whole body was really aching. But when I called the doctors, especially if you want to go and see a specialist, they will give you an appointment in 5 or 6 months, or even in 8 months to come. And even if you say you are really, really sick, they'll tell you to go to the hospital, which most of the times you just go to the hospital. You cannot just go to the hospital because, like for me, I was sick. Maybe I used to visit the doctors. The doctor almost, okay, not every day, but okay, almost every week. And there's a time that I was told, because my sickness is not new, like it had not begun 1 or 2 days ago, I have to wait for the appointment. So it also depends how long you've been sick, and the longer you've been sick, the longer you'll have to wait. But for me, I think the longer you've been sick, the faster they should do, because so that they can find out why you've been sick for a very long time. So get prepared. Don't get sick just anyhowly. Prepare yourself when to get sick, so that you can, when you get an appointment, you can go and visit the doctor at the right time. Another thing is that most Germans will eat when you watch. I remember the first time I had taken my child to a kindergarten, and I could not make it to pick him early enough because I had to work longer. So when I arrived, my son was seated on the side, and other children were eating. So he was watching other children, and even the caretakers, as they were eating. This thing really made me sad, because I couldn't just imagine how someone could be so mean to an innocent child eating while the children are watching. Of course, with the time, I've come to understand that most of the times they have to order food early enough, so the food comes according to the number of people. And this takes me to the next point. If there's a party, or even you go to a certain family, the food will be cooked according to the number of people. If there are 5 people will be eating, the food is exactly enough for 5 people. It's not like, for example, for us Kenyans, we cook food that is enough for maybe 5 people, we cook food that's enough for 20 people. No, here they measure food. Even they'll be asked how many potatoes you would like to eat. There's sometimes someone used to ask me how many potatoes I would eat, and I could not even say, because how will I know how many potatoes I will be eating? I mean, it just depends how hungry I am. Of course, sometimes I'm very hungry, but I cannot say I want to eat 10 potatoes. What if I say I want to eat 10, and when I just eat 5 of them, I get satisfied? Because some also feel bad. If you just eat 5, they'll tell you, but you said you want to eat 10 potatoes. Why haven't you eaten the other 5? But these are just some funny things which I really find. But another thing that is very important here is that Germans are very punctual. They like punctuality, and that is something positive. Of course, it's something positive. I don't mean that I'm always punctual, that's something I still have to learn because getting late is somehow in my blood, but I really try to learn and integrate myself in this part. But they are very punctual. If you tell them come at 1 p.m., they'll be there exactly at 1 p.m. And they also really follow the laws. Like there are traffic lights almost everywhere here in Germany, and when you'll be waiting for the when it's red, when the traffic light is red, they'll wait patiently until it turns green. They'll not just cross the road anyhowly, and that's something good because it's also not only it will not only prevent accidents but also to be a good example to children, because most children do what they see adults doing. And for this, let me stop here. If you have not yet subscribed, click the subscribe button below because there's more content coming. Click also the notification button so that each time I post something new, a new video, you'll get notified. Goodbye.